outline a few problems and we've identified some solutions. The first problem outlined in Group 1 is the lack of adequate funding for investigation and prosecution of cases. We've discussed that there's poorly planned policy budgeting to enable implementation, and the inability to identify an average cost needed to investigate and prosecute cases. We've also discussed that in issue of budgeting, usually, even though there's a budget, there is no release of that budget, which also leads to poor implementation of policies. The second issue we've identified is the lack of budgeting for SGBV issues, which includes reproductive health rights, harmful traditional practices, provision of shelters, schools, sensitization, and many others. We've discussed corruption and lack of political will to support actions against sexual, gender-based violence. There was also an issue which was earlier highlighted, which is the withdrawal of matters in courts by parents and relatives and lack of witnesses as well to enable prosecution. Then there's lack of trained medical personnel and specialists. And then there's lack of comprehensive medical reports which should detail penetration in a timely manner. Now, for the first issue I mentioned earlier, which is the lack of adequate funding for investigation and prosecution of cases, one of the solutions we've preferred is that there needs to be adequate budgeting and release, not just having a budget that states clearly what the money would be used for, but there should be release of that money. Now, we also have advocacy. We need to advocate to policymakers and other stakeholders. We need to advocate to enable adequate budgeting and release of funds. We've also preferred a solution of sensitization to faith-based organizations, sensitization to community, churches, mosques, sensitization to traditional rulers. That is, we can have community dialogues and advocacy. Now, for the corruption, because usually, even though there is a budget and there is a release, some people, or rather, the money is not used for the true purpose for which it was meant for. So that is what we define as corruption, because that money, we don't even know where the money is going to. So for corruption, we prefer the solution of monitoring, adequate monitoring and evaluation for proper accountability. This can be done by NGOs. This can be done by you and I, individually. By virtue of the Freedom of Information Act, each and every one of us, we are entitled to apply for information, public information from the government to ensure accountability, to ensure adequate monitoring, that this money, whether it's taxpayers' money, whether it's government money, is being used for the right purpose. It's also confirmed, I think, Section 39 of the Constitution, which gives us access to public information. Another solution for the issue of withdrawal, whereby some parents feel like, okay, we don't want this issue to be made public, or the issue is dragging out for too long, and they withdraw their children from shelters, they withdraw the cases from court. We have a solution of proper counseling. We need to counsel the victims. We need to counsel their parents, their relatives, their family members. We need to give them psychosocial support aimed at mental health and to give these victims closure. Furthermore, we've also discussed that we need specialized training, like what we are doing here. This is a training. I'm sure each and every one of us has gained knowledge we didn't have before, particularly me, because we need specialized trainings for personnel, medical consultants, for the issue of having detailed, comprehensive medical reports. They need specialized training. Gynecologists, they need to go for special training on SGBV related issues. Aside from specialized trainings for medical consultants, stakeholders also need specialized trainings. Officers also need specialized trainings. The bottom line is, we need to protect victims. We need to protect children especially. We need to protect women, men also that have been victims of this sexual gender-based violence.